Cool. Okay, we're going. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mindful Crafting. Today, I'm very excited to introduce, I know her as Aunt Liza, but you may know her as an incredible local artist. Her thing of the past, I want to say like 4 or 5 years, it's been a while, is these incredible paper dresses. She does a lot of different kinds of paperwork, but today we're gonna today we're gonna focus on paper ornaments, or like mini paper outfits. So let's see, I can put her website in the chat, but if you want to see her work in real life, it's a Lawrence Artists Guild, I believe, show tomorrow at the Cider Gallery. It runs from 9 to 5, and she'll have some not super huge, but the like medium to mini size paper dresses, postcards, mini books, and if you say a secret code word, you get a free mini book. So the code, I guess the code phrase is Boston's in a suitcase. So if you run up to her and shout that at her, you get a free mini book. So, okay, I'm gonna turn it over to Liza MacKinnon to start us off.
Thanks so much, Ruby. This is really fun. I haven't taught in a long time, so this is really fun to be with a group of people and sharing some things. I started with really small dresses, just hand cutting my own mannequins and just dressing them up for fun. But today, so if you wanted to see like how I got to where I am today, this is where I started. So maybe some of you will follow in my footsteps. That'll be really fun. Today, the first thing I'm going to talk about is all the incredible resources you can find around your household, so you don't have to go out and buy materials. So one of my favorites is security envelopes, and I chose one with, let's see, the most amazing pattern. Can you guys see that? So any of your bills come in either blue, black, or red, sometimes orange, with patterns on the inside. So this is just an envelope, and you can use the paper for anything. I find patterns in, whoops, let's see, in just like, this is an advertising postcard. You can even use your paper bag from today's kit. Magazines are great. You can find amazing colors and patterns. And sometimes like sheet music, so just straight sheet music is fantastic. But sometimes the cover has these amazing patterns, and I made a dress where I painted that pattern red, and it came out just beautifully. Let's see, sheet music, playing cards, postage stamps can be very beautiful, and they're the right scale for doing these dresses. This is a chocolate coin wrapper. So I just see everything out there as a potential resource. Children's artwork. So like this is just painted by a child long ago, and it's gorgeous colors. And of course, fruit and vegetable bags. Of course, I've lost it. Here's the kit stuff. So this was actually a cut up bath loofah. Can you see that? So it can be really beautiful netting. Let's see, show it on my hand there. Okay, so those are some household resources that you might find. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a couple of simple paper flowers. And then after that, I'm going to make a quick dress so that I can show you a couple of tips about being successful about this. So this is a little rosette. Let's see if, can you guys see that? It's a spiral, and it's very easy to make. So you take a circle of paper, and it doesn't have to be perfect, as you can see. and you just cut a spiral into it. And the thicker the spiral, the taller the rose is going to be. And I'm just going to clip off some of these more pointy edges, and I'm going to blunt the end. And then you just start at the blunt end and you roll it. And I'll go as quickly as I can because I want you guys to have as much crafting time as you can. Basically, you roll it all the way around. Need a little circus music here. This is very junky. But anyway, this last bit is kind of a little circle. Let's see. See that? So I'm going to put a dab of hot glue on the base of the spiraled paper and then set it up. Can you see? So this is great. And variations on this is, instead of just cutting a straight spiral, cut a wiggly spiral. And if you do that, then you get something like this, where you can fold back the little tabs that are created when you do the wiggle. And then it's a little bit more realistic. And another way is to fold along your cut the whole way on the outside and then roll it up. And then you get a really interesting look. Okay, the other one is, the other simple flower is a cockade. And all you do for that is accordion fold paper like this and fold it in half. And you're going to glue the near sides together. And you're going to keep adding to it until you get a full circle. Okay, so those are the demonstrations. So what I'd like to show you is a quick dress. Oh, and if you don't have a glue gun today, just use like some binder clips to hold things in place until they dry, because the glue stick takes a little bit longer to dry. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use this brown bag and make it. Oops, there's more treats in here, more goodies from our kit. All right, so to get the right scale, I'm going to go ahead and trace this part here. And then that's the waistline. And then I want the dress to be the whole, to be floor length. So I'm just making myself a line there. And I think I want it to be maybe an off the shoulder, or yeah, sleeveless. So I'm going to cut, you can see that, okay. Really wide. And then not on the trace. This is the important part. You want it to wrap around like paper dolls. So I'm going to do a rough, there's the neckline. And then I'm going to do wide tabs for the sides. And then here's the hemline. So I've been playing with a really fun dress pattern recently for my paper dresses, where you keep a flat panel in the front and then you have pleats off the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do a crease on each side right at the waistline. And that's going to give me my flat panel. See how this is going to fit in here. I was thinking maybe this would be really pretty like this, and then have that peeking up like that. Then I'm going to accordion fold all of this guy going out, which is going to result in a flare. That was great. Did you zoom in there? So
Yeah,
you
I
can
just
see.
pinned you so your demo was a little bit bigger.
Okay, so here's my fold line. I actually want to not have the pencil showing, so I'm going to turn that over and wrap it on that fold line to attach it. A little bit of glue, a little bit of glue, and then so these guys will all come in really pretty like this. You see how that's starting to flare out? And so if I continue to fold and then I glue it in place, then I can put, let's see, slide this guy in.
So you're just leaving like tons and tons of paper out to the side.
Yeah,
so
that's going to do all that you want.
With it.
Yeah, so that you can do a really wide, that's just what I'm into right now, is really wide dresses. So you might want to do something that's a little more form-fitting. So I just, with this one, I just took a couple of sort of, say, teardrop shapes without the point and just folded them around like that. And then this was actually, it was in another class and the person had abandoned it. So you can see that it's not wrapped around, and I definitely recommend wrapping around. And then this is a little bit of that bath loofah on there. Let's see if I can show. Yeah. So yeah, you might want to have it form fitting. You might want to have like empire waist or something. There's just so many possibilities. So I think let's get going and let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions. You can put them in chat or you can go off mute. Oh, I forgot the most important thing I was supposed to say first. If you want to make it into an ornament, do that first. So you would take your ribbon and staple it to the back or glue it maybe with a little piece of paper over the ribbon and glue the whole thing down. And make sure that your staple or whatever that's going through is under your neckline, because you don't want that showing in your décolletage. Look a little Frankenstein-y.
Let's see what stapling does. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely do not have to be ornaments, but, and you can also, we were talking about this, that I have a few ornaments that just like fit in my tree and don't have loops or anything. So if you decide at the end that you want to, you know, lean it up against a shelf or stick it in a tree or whatever, it'll stay.
The thing
Can
that
you
makes,
show, I'm sorry, can you show how when you, I see that you're gluing your accordion pleat there, and when it comes into the waistline, then how do you either hide, or what do you do then around the waistline? Is that something that you then use decorations to sort of cover where that's glued?
Yeah, I'm gonna, first of all, I'm gonna sort of get it close like that. And then fold it over the back so that there's a nice, you see this curve here? So you get some functionality.
Gotcha, thanks. Oh,
And
yeah.
And then you can add a I'm sorry, I'm working upside down. This is getting a nice sort of 50s silhouette to it that I like. If you want to add sleeves, probably the best thing to do is to wrap your bodice with your pattern paper and then cut little tubes maybe, and then glue them on the back so that they're sticking out from the back. I think that would be the nicest looking. And if they're too three-dimensional, you can just flatten them after you make them. If you want to put a bow on something, the best way to make the bow is to take your ribbon and just take 2 loops and tie them together, and then you've got a nice little bow, and you don't have to deal with it slipping apart or anything because it's actually just a knot. So it comes out a little wonky to begin with, and then you just shape it where you want so it's the right scale. That's another option. You can just hot glue that down like that.
Would you mind showing tying the little bow again?
Sure. So you make 2 loops. And you have to start with a lot more ribbon than you are going to end up using, just because our fingers are big. So you just tie the little loops in a knot, in a single knot, and then pull these to the size that you want of your bow. And pull them a little tighter because, a little smaller, because when you tighten it, it's going to get bigger. Here's some that I made and then pulled off another dress. So if you cut the edges at a little jaunty angle, they look very pretty.
Oh, okay. So you're not actually tying. You're not tying a bow. You're tying 2 loops together to look. Okay, I was looking at it like, how did you tie a bow that fast? Now I get it.
Yeah. And it's more stable than an actual bow. And a bow requires that it's coming out of 2 separate sources, like your shoelaces.
Right.
This is just, this will stay tied.
when you put netting on, how are you gluing it? Like, are you gluing it on the back?
Well, one thing you can do is you could weave through some ribbon through it to keep it in one place, or you can just hot glue it down and then cover the gluey mess with a ribbon.
Okay.
So here's an example where
okay.
paper is covering the gluey mess.
Got it.
So also this
That
is a
might
good
be easiest.
layering. So layering is fun, makes it really interesting. This one has a velvet ribbon covering up the netting, the glue of the netting. If you look closely, it's really quite a mess.
I feel like it kind of has the like theater production costume vibes where everything's like glued and tacked and like
Yes. And also gigantic hems so that they can be resized for different productions. I don't know if you've ever known.
yes.
It's pretty cool. So I'm attempting some Palazzo pants here. I've never done pants before. I'm so interested in pants. So we'll see how this comes out. This might be a case where I would cut off the mannequin stand so that it didn't show between the pant legs.
Right. Ooh, I'm inspired to make a jumpsuit. I really like this.
Maybe a New Year's Eve outfit.
Yeah.
I had to turn my camera off so you guys wouldn't see how much I stick my tongue out when I do stuff like this. You're welcome.
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
You're in the zone, which is where we want to get with mindful crafting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another way to deal with this netting is you can put the glue down, but then have a little handy piece of paper ready. And then you put the glue on the paper and it will then seal down your netting, because it's hard to get the glue right on the little bits of netting. Just seal it in there.
I think I started off with sort of a bad Forever 21 formal wear shape in my dress, and I'm noticing like the more I'm layering on top of it, the more reasonable it looks. So I was struggling, but it's looking better the longer I'm kind of adding things to it.
Yeah, you could just keep transforming.
Just sourced some extra netting off of my little cutie's bag. So
Nice.
if you're looking for red netting.
Yeah, so I actually, when I'm shopping, white onions come in this beautiful blue netting, and a lot of apples and things come in the red netting. But watch when you're at the grocery store and choose your vegetables based on the netting color. If you
How's everybody doing? I'm seeing a lot of very, very focused faces. We're at about 10 till.
Really?
So if you have, I know, it's just like, I don't know about everyone else, but I just got into the dressmaking zone. If you have any questions, oh my goodness, so cute.
Oh, cool. Look at the sleeves.
I love it.
Little mod number.
Nice. Liza, did you want to show the other forms that you used?
Yeah.
Because I know
So-
that, you know, we only have 3 of these little mannequins
Right.
cutouts.
So what you can do is you can trace one of the mannequins, and it doesn't have to have a fancy bottom. When I first started doing mannequins, I just did like a little pointy bottom. So for some reason on this one, I did the skirt too, but basically all you need is let's find one that doesn't have a skirt. No, it looks like I did that for all of these. I guess that was to kind of help prompt the shape. I was doing a lot of ballerinas, but before I started doing these, I was just making dresses free form. So this is just a little sleeveless one. It's got a little netting on top, and this is some raffia. And this was a decorative, like in the first page of a book, you know, the inside of the cover. And this one's kind of a silly, twisty form, but I did some weaving down here and just some curling. And this one is just a bunch of, I just cut out little strips and curled them. And then this was before I knew how to make that rose. I just rolled up paper like quilling. So you can just play with different, like this one just has, the paper is just a little bit curved to give it dimension. I encourage you to experiment.
Can you, I know it's probably a more complicated process than it looks because you've done such a beautiful job there, but can you kind of tell us a little bit about how you created the curve?
Oh, this one? If you look right here, do you see that shadow? This line right here? So that's a cut, and it's on both sides. Actually, there's 2 cuts on each side. So I cut the paper and then slid some of it underneath itself to get that curve. And then with the sleeves, it's just the sleeve shape, and then I just bent it in to get that. So can you see the cuts?
Yes, yeah. So it's kind of, it's like a pleat, but you don't actually.
Yeah. So I just cut it and then just pulled it over its neighbor to get that. And this is pretty stiff paper, so it holds it really well. Like this was supposed to show, you know, some bosom. And so this is an actual pleat right in here. And then this is just pleated paper all along there with some paper over the top. You can see how it came together there. So it's like bas relief. It's halfway 3D. It's not all the way. Here's one very silly, sort of a Sophia Loren look, and a giant, look at the size of this rose. It's giant 3D rose. You know, just play with what makes you happy. That's what this is all about. Especially, I mean, I just, for some reason, dresses have just been my obsession my whole life, and I can't stop making them. Another tip, if you get into weaving anything through the paper or embroidering paper, I highly recommend masking taping the back and then punching your holes ahead of time with, I usually use just a pin. This is a corsage pin, but for this pipe cleaner, I used an awl to make a little bit bigger. And you can just have a dedicated piece of cardboard. It'll save you a lot of headaches because paper is so unforgiving. You guys have any other questions?
I have a question that's a little bit related, but I've seen your sculptural works, your 3D pieces.
Uh-huh.
And I was curious, I believe you said you used a wire armature. Are you building your own armatures then, I assume?
Yeah, so for the half scale, the large adult pieces, basically, I create 2 wire cones and then invert them and wire them together. So one going up for the shoulders and one going out for the hem of the skirt or dress. For the small tabletop ones, it's pretty much the same, but I use chipboard and make 2 cones and glue them together and then dress it. I could show you one of those. I can show you the inside of that. So these are tabletop. This was made with pictures from a book on the history of the Tower of London. And I used some of those same methods. You can see to make the bustle, I just cut it and it's come apart here, but attached it, like overlapped. And then the inside is chipboard kind of a cone, not with a super pointy top because you need to insert the bodice cone. But you can see this was from some paper pack or something. So I save everything.
I made a jumpsuit with really bad proportions.
Let's see. Oh, cute. I like it. Is that plaid?
Yeah.
Very cool. I like it.
The legs looked weird, and so I cut them, and then I kept cutting them shorter. So it's like a culotte jumpsuit. Yeah. Oh well.
Well, you could add giant cuffs, or another piece of paper. You could extend.
Oh, that makes sense.
It could actually be like stilt legs. They could be as long as you want.
Yeah. I might have to do that.
Can you change the viewpoint so that it's equal windows?
Oh yeah.
I can see people's. Can you do that?
I think you have to do it on your end. If you hit view up at the top corner, and then you can change it to gallery.
Okay. Oh, good. That's a little bit bigger. So I'd love to see what you've all made. If you could put them up.
And if you unpin her, and then if we do the speaker view, then anyone who's speaking will be on the this main screen.
Oh, cute.
There we go. Okay.
Very cool.
Oh, wow. Oh, I like that. Look at that.
Fun,
Oh,
fun.
these are wonderful. Oh, what fun.
Oh my goodness.
This is great. I hope you guys have had a fun time and you're inspired to do lots more.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
we have
I
like
didn't
almost a full 3D.
That's amazing.
I didn't actually get one finished now, but I was going to show you things that I've made for years, but yours is so much easier and fun. I've made doll dresses a lot, and then I made paper dolls, but I never thought of, I mean, you've kind of put the two together.
Uh-huh.
So this is the style that I've made
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
a lot of, where I
Wow.
just Xeroxed, like I have one where I Xeroxed a bunch of old stamps and
Oh, nice.
colorized it with pencils, and yeah, you can, so I was changing out pieces, but I love what you've
Yeah.
done with the dresses. Those,
Do the limbs move on the paper doll?
oh, I don't know.
On the one you made? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, I thought you said lens. Yeah, they're
Oh
what are those
wow.
called? Rivets. So she can do
So
pirouettes.
cool.
She can,
I
Yeah.
love that. That's awesome.
but yeah, I mean, the thoughts are endless what you can do with the wonderful stuff you put together.
Well, and I think for me, I like kept covering it up. I didn't get a lot done.
Oh, it's cool.
Good, I
Yeah.
love them.
It was fun, but this one, like, it has like 3 layers of paper because things are crooked. Couldn't quite master the pleated technique, but thank you so much. So much fun.
Yeah. Don't forget the secret phrase, Boston's in a suitcase. You can come get some.
Okay,
It's my last sale of the year, and I think it'll be really fun.
great.